everybody. Welcome back to Movility. Happy 2015, Dr. Bubbs.
Happy 2015. How was your break, buddy?
It was good. I had the flu, so I was struggling a bit, but I think I'm doing better.
It's been a bad year already for the flu. There's a lot of patients in, so hopefully it didn't knock you out for too long.
It was a couple of rough days, but I think, yeah.
You're back and you got a t-shirt on as well here. What's going on here?
The t-shirt is helping, so we actually taking it up the mobility to the next level, so.
We got merged. This is the next
exactly.
level. I love mobility. With the brain, what's going on with the brain there? Can you tell everybody about that?
I think this is one thing that me and you were really interested about is we want to be able to again to encourage patients, clients, to be able to look at what their body and their mind and their brain in a more sort of a holistic way, right? That is not so disconnected. So if you're taking care of your body, if you're doing the right movements, then you're going to be able to think better and you become better, right? So
perfect, better productivity at work, sharper with the family and all that good stuff, right?
Absolutely, and being able to deal with the stress management and everything else, right? So 2015, what I figure we're going to do is we're going to talk about some fundamental movements, and I think something that we both really like is the squat, right?
Yeah, squat pattern, super important. It's 2015, everyone's up on the getting back into fitness or moving more. Now's the time to jump in and really iron out any issues with the squat. So what have you got for us? Or why is it beneficial even in terms of, we're starting from the ankle here. Right. Tell us a bit about that.
So one of the things that I think, and this is something that you actually maybe become aware of it, right, that how crucial the role of ankle mobility is, right? And one of the things that I want you guys to realize that we need to have about 5 degrees of ankle movement to be able to do something as basic as going from a seated to standing position. And about 10 degrees to be able to walk properly. And then anywhere from 15 to 25 degrees to be able to run.
15 to 25, that's actually quite a bit, isn't it?
It is huge,
yeah.
Right.
So there's a lot of people out there who are jogging and running. I mean, that can be the reason why I'm behind a lot of shin splints and other things. So how can someone at home know what they're at in terms of assessments?
So one of the big things that we want to be able to do is like, so I'm going to lie down here. And the key thing is we want to be able to, again, have my knee in a full extension, right? Because we know that the gastroc muscle that crosses this joint, right? So if I have it slightly bent, then it's not going to really allow me to assess it properly. So now from here, this is 90 degrees, and anything else from 90 is going to really help me to be able to measure it.
Gotcha.
Right?
So we're thinking like maybe 8 degrees there, 7 degrees?
Be a little bit more generous.
10 degrees,
yeah,
he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, so, and this is incredibly, it gets restricted, right? And I think that part of it is like, there's certain joints because we use them a lot, right? And you know how much I like to walk, right? So it tends to become a little bit more stiffer as well, right?
And how can someone at home, now that's a nice first one initially to do, but how can, there's another one that you've got for us that you can get a better chance to eyeball really where you're at, right?
So the other one that is really great and a lot of different manual therapists and physiotherapists use as well is like if I can actually make a fist here and then I'm going to try to measure to see how much movement I got.
So he's tracking that knee over the toe, past the toe. He's keeping the heel on the floor, on the ground, in contact at all times, and he's going to have a look and see how far that knee can go. So it's actually pretty good. I mean, for myself, working with a lot of basketball players, I mean, that's not something that you see is very restricted, right? Any jumping sports, definitely going to be restricted as well, so they're probably not going to be as good as Dr. T there.
And then, the other thing is like we were talking about it, right? And I think that especially with the calf muscles, right? Because they allow us to propel forward, right? So they're a crucial muscle, but they also are a huge shock absorbers, right? So and I think it becomes really stiff, and I think this general maintenance on a daily basis, I think is going to have a huge effect, not only for the squat, but for running, for walking, for anything else that we want to be able to do as well.
For sure, and I think that's it comes back to even you start with the ankles for the squat because we're going to have a look at Dr. T's squat here, and we'll show you how it comes into play here in terms of you even assessing your own squat at home. So let's.
But before I do that, I apologize for my feet. So I mean, I should have cut my nails, man.
All right, some natty petties into the.
All right, so let's do this. Okay, I didn't want to do this.
So just flat ground. We're going to be there. We'll have your arms across, like a front squat there. We'll have him coming down. Now, as he comes down, you can see at a certain depth there. Just come nice and slow for us, Dr. T. At a certain depth, you can see. We're going to start to lose that neutral spine, a little bit of what we call a butt wink there. but pretty good in terms of range, not too far off. So that can mean a couple of things. It can mean the ankles are a little bit tight, or perhaps even the hips. So what we would then do is have Dr. T go up onto his heels up onto a board. So that's about 3 inches there, 2.5 inches. And you can see immediately you can get into better depth. Okay, he's much more upright. Come on up for us.
And I have a more neutral spine.
Much more neutral spine. So for him, that's actually probably too high of a lift for the heels, but he may need a little bit of support when he's doing his squats to help maintain that neutral spine. So, you know, for you at home, it's a great way to kind of test that out. Have a friend or a trainer at the gym or whoever else have a look at you. And for someone like Dr. T, it might even mean just in terms of the shoes that he's wearing, you know, some Olympic lifting shoes or even CrossFit shoes would probably do the trick in terms of allowing him to get into that depth without sacrificing that neutral spine.
Now, and again, I think that, you know, if I'm just doing body weight, then it's okay. I'm going to be able to accomplish so it's not going to be as traumatic or dramatic on my joints or my sort of deep tissues. But if I go under load.
Great comment. If you don't have any load, you don't have to worry. I mean, it's okay to even get past that and have a little bit of that flexion there, working on that mobility. Not too big a deal. But yeah, as soon as you get that load on the body, that's when it becomes really important to maintain that position.
And one of the guys that we both respect tremendously, Professor McGill, his idea is like, look, the longer you be able to maintain a deep squat, you know, the longer you're going to be able to have a functional life, and try to maintain it into your 50s and your 60s and 70s, because this is a fundamental move that allows us to be able to lift stuff, and this is the thing that ends up happening. That
absolutely, even before lifting stuff, if you imagine back, before there were toilet bowls, we all went to the bathroom this way, right?
Huge, yeah.
I mean, we're talking a while back, but even in certain parts of the world, this is how, you know, you go to the bathroom, and it's amazing how that would, you know, once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day, you're working on your mobility, absolutely, even without thinking about it. But so you can think about that maybe for the new year, get rid of the toilet at home and see how it goes.
Squatty potties. Those are huge, right? So that's the big thing we want to do. Now, the other thing that, you know, that I do have a problem with my right knee where it was collapsing in or was going a little bit more valgus, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to also be able to audit to see where your knee's going in, right? So, and one of the things that I really like to be able to, again, if I'm in that position, just be able to activate and get some isometric contractions from my ITB bands and my inner thigh muscles. That also just allows me to be able to prepare myself and also get a better neurological kinesthetic awareness of it, right?
For sure. Definitely, yeah. I mean, the knee position is definitely one that tends to, even that inner collapsing or dynamic valgus is one that we see a lot, even particularly in females, almost more so than males.
Yeah.
So that's a great way to do it. Even as a warm-up, maybe next week we'll show you another one that's a nice way to really get on the outer edge of that foot so you can avoid collapsing in.
Now, one last thing about it too is that, now, shout out to you, you're going to have your book coming out, 2015.
So it's been a long road, but we're almost there. The book's just about done. We're going to have a launch in February, so the Paleo Project, keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll be giving you some more information, but it should be fun.
So just quickly talk to me about that also, something as primal movement as the squat, how much it affects, you know, the hormones, specifically the testosterone and also the growth hormone, right?
I mean, it's just amazing how movement in general impacts so many different areas of the body in terms of whether we're talking blood sugars, cholesterol levels, blood pressure, hormonal health, digestive health, immune health. I mean, there's no one thing you could eat or even take as a medication that would do more for you than what movement will do. And in particular, you know, the squat. And when we get into a lot of the research around hormonal mechanisms, yeah, we see some good outputs in terms of, you know, testosterone levels with these types of movements. It's not only just important for men. We always think of testosterone as a male hormone, but equally as important for females. Just obviously a lower total range there, but it's just really important. You always want to be including, if you can, upper and lower in your workouts, and starting with more of the compound lifts like your squats, your deadlifts, your Olympic lifts, things like that.
And remember, the purpose of mobility is like it's about the long game, right? So we want you to be able to, again, start the year right, you know, become aware of your body, audit yourself to sort of see what exactly is happening. I think a lot of times, like, you know, people just go to the gym and they just like go under load, right? You know, or they're listening to the music or anything else, especially with the New Year resolution. But if you start off a little bit more fundamental, then you're going to be able to carry it on, and then you're going to have a more awesome time, and you're going to have less pain and ache, right?
And that's the biggest thing is that, you know, we don't need to do squats because we want to have stronger quads or stronger hamstrings. I mean, you get that benefit, but if you're doing the squats to build this movement and the movement helps you in terms of your health and how you think and how you feel, like that's how you want to sort of view it in terms of it's just an essential thing that you really got to include, just like eating right and, you know, getting outside, getting some sun, all those things that are essential for health, right?
And the other thing is like, also be aware of your breathing, right? So don't become too involved. Just, you want to integrate all of it together, but just start off with this.
So yeah, start with the squat, feel comfortable with the squat, and then you can think about the breathing
Right.
on top of that. And we're going to take you through week to week here in terms of progression. So chew on that for a little bit, and then we'll see you next week. And
That's good, man.
that's a wrap.
All right.